nothing should be standard really across the board. Everything should be what works for you. How are we going to do this? But we still have to meet requirements A, B, and C.
Yep.
But how can we best serve you with meeting these requirements? And I think we've started down that journey and making it very individualized versus, nope, you need to have contact every single week. You need to do this and work like robots.
Yep.
But
I think one thing that was not fully anticipated, even for me as a parent going through it, I did not realize how hard it was going to be to get in front of our kiddos' parents.
Yes.
Because they're working full-time jobs. Duh.
Who knew?
Like, I know.
Ah.
And they're raising special needs kids most of the time, more than one.
Mm-hmm.
And they're working full-time jobs. And we're one more person that needs access to their house, into their lives, in their time.
Yep.
And that was, learning how to navigate that and check our boxes, but also make sure that we're being respectful on the back end. And like, how can we work together that you're comfortable, we're comfortable, we're moving the dial towards your goal. Getting help, as all of the people that we've interviewed have said, getting help is very vulnerable.
Yeah. So speaking from a guardian standpoint, walk through that process.
That was, well, first of all, so like the decision to move toward guardianship was probably one of the most devastating decisions I've ever had to make in my entire 41 years on this earth. That was brutal. The entire journey was made further brutal by the emotional parts of it, and it just being difficult. It was just difficult.
Was it the system that
made it difficult? The system made it difficult. Yep. And then like nothing was seamless. Even like the transition from the children's long-term care to adult long-term care, brutal. Like it was messy. But it was, the call to the ADRC, and then I was assigned an individual who I communicated with the entire process. And it was a laundry list of just things that I need to do. I had to take a class. And I want to talk about that class for a minute, because although it was very well put together, and they did pull in some people from the disabled community to speak on guardianship and supported decision making, it by no means prepared me for the crap storm that is the responsibility of being a guardian. And so I feel like Outagamie County actually has like a whole division set up for guardian, which I think is amazing. I'm gonna have to tap into them because I'm struggle bussing. But you have to run your own credit and send it over. It's free. But I had to print like 100. It's your entire credit, so it's not like your credit score, the life of your credit. It was a ream of paper. And did they actually review my ream of paper? I'm not sure.
Well, again, I'm just curious. So is like, why? How does that fit into the system? How does that fit into the requirement?
I think it's because I'm also his rep payee technically. So I'm a guardian of state and person.
Okay.
So I manage his finances. So I think like just making sure that you aren't in like bankruptcy and maybe not the most fiscally responsible person, maybe. Sure. But then like, where's the line? Like, how do they determine that I am or am not financially responsible person? Right. And so there was the class that I had to take. It was online. And what else was there? Oh, the criminal background check. They ran of course, a criminal background check. Why it takes so long, I'm really not sure, because we started the process like we were told to at 17 and a half, and nothing was done until he was 18 and a half. So it should have taken 6 months. It took a year. Wow. It was messy. It actually was cleaner though than the long-term care process.
So going from kids to long-term.
The adult long-term care was actually harder. And then the court date came and went, and that was very quick. It's a little unnerving how quickly someone's personhood can be taken away.
So it was one court date?
It was one court date with a judge that I think it's the DA is responsible, like on the other side of the table, responsible for briefing them. And they are given, he was assigned a guardian ad litem. So he met with an attorney. He met with the guardian ad litem with me and without me, which was nice, because then like if he wanted to say, I do not want this, I'm hoping that he had a safe enough space to say that I don't want this. Yeah. Yeah, and then I think the court took all of maybe 10 minutes. And
So
that was
is there
that.
like a competency?
Yep, he did have to have the competency. Did he?
To determine?
Most people do, but I think because we had already done. Yes, he did. Yep, he did. Yep.
Okay,
they did. Yep.
Well, that's good because
yep.
I remember we have one situation where guardianship wants to be taken, and the member is just go with the flow. Doesn't need to be taken, but also may not be the best to be taken just for vulnerability reasons. So I would hope they would do their due diligence as to, is this the best for this person?
Yep. And actually, now that you say that, that is what held us up. We could not find a doctor to sign off because he didn't need a comp eval. He just needed a doctor to sign off, and none of his doctors would do the 2-page paperwork on it. Because none of it, even he has a decent sized medical team. He had a psychiatrist, a counselor, a regular doctor. He has a GI doctor. He's got enough doctors in his orbit that could have said he could benefit from help. None of them would sign it. So the county had to get involved. So the county had to assign a third party to review all of his medical records and then met with him. And that is what took the line. That was exactly why. But I think like the member you're talking about and then my kiddo, it was a fine line. Like, would he be okay? He'd get through life.
Yeah.
It would be real hard. I can guarantee his medical needs would not be tended to. He's very prone. He'd be very taken. He would have no money right now.
Sure.
He'd have none. They would have all been on Xbox games. For positive. For positive.
So it's more like a safety.
Yeah.
For safety reasons.
Yep. And that was kind of where like the woman who evaluated him was like, as he ages and matures, this can always be revisited.
Absolutely.
And I personally don't think that guardianship should be permanent for most people.
No.
Yeah, I've seen it gone sour, like really sour.
Yeah.
And like your member that you're talking about, they're just so agreeable. And they're like, that's fine. Yep. That's cool. You can take my personhood. What does that mean? Until you're in it and you're like, oh crap, I get my $50 a month allowance. And I get to make no decisions. And I've also seen it. My kiddo is very, very, very lucky that I really let him do. He lives his life.
Yeah.
He lives his life. I'm not telling him no to nothing. He can date. He can be with his friends. Because that's not the role of a guardian. No. And I think some guardians take it way too far.
Way too far. You're allowed to have a relationship. You're allowed to have sex.
Yeah.
That's okay.
Yeah. You're allowed to make bad choices.
Yes.
Like really like the provisions by guardian are to make sure that they're safe, stable, housed. They attend their medical appointments. But even still, if they choose not to, they choose not to. It just has to be documented.
Well, and allow like the relationship piece of it and then where to live. There's certain things like in a guardianship that shouldn't, like that doesn't apply, correct?
No, they have to be protectively placed to lose the ability to choose where they live.
Okay.
They have to be protectively placed. My kiddo can literally choose to live in the worst possible location, but if it's his choice, I can't tell him no.
Right.
I'm just responsible for paying for his rent and make sure it's paid on time. And that he has food and that he's got access to food, like those kind of things. But he can live wherever he wants to live. Yeah. Like he wants a roommate, he can have a roommate. It's going to make things difficult, sure is. But he has the right to do all those things. But there are some guardians that I've worked with, especially I've seen a lot more family guardians that just take it far too far.
Oh, way too far.
Where they're not allowed to date, they're not allowed to have relationships. They're very infantilized. Yep. I've seen a lot of that happen. Yep. And then on the corporate guardian side, I've seen a lot more corporate guardians just be like, whatever.
I've seen both sides of it. I've seen where they've taken it way too far. And again, it's no, you can't do this. No, you can't see this person. No, you can't have that beverage, whatever. And then I've seen, whatever, just let me know where you're at. Yep.
And check in once a month, every quarter. Check in a quarter, please.
Yep.
Yeah, I've seen a little bit all over the place, but I think the ones that hurt me the most, or my heart the most, is the ones that are not allowed to live their life, and they have no choices. Like I've engaged with some people who have literally no choices, not an A choice and a B choice, no choices. They are not making a single choice throughout their day. Their day is completely scheduled, and they are not allowed to choose what they're eating for lunch, breakfast, or dinner. They are not allowed to make choices on anything. Leaving the house, walking outside, Like going for a walk up and down
Mhm.
the block with supervision, like not that.
It's not okay.
No, it's very
No.
yeah. And there's not monitoring. So like annually, I just did his like annual thing with the probate court. I have to sign a form. No doctor has to sign it. Just me stating that he's in good health
Oh.
and being cared for.
Oh.
I'm like, huh, just me, huh?
Trusting.
Yeah, very trusting. And then, of course, his annual review of which they are much more concerned about. I did not realize when I did his that even though I got his money to balance, they wanted it itemized. I get there and I'm all proud of myself. I finally got this stupid $1,300 to balance. And like, where's the itemized list? I'm like, what?
Stop. No.
What? And again, like not prepared like that. If it was in that class, I missed it in the class. And no, it has to be broken down into like he spent $53 on clothing, $25 on this, $25 on that. I'm like, oh dear Jesus. Okay, well I guess I'll be back. Now it's late. But so they're very concerned about where all his money is being spent. But his person, no one even has to verify he's alive.
Wow.
It's interesting.
That is very interesting.
Yeah.
I think there would be a little bit of balance there.
Yeah. Like I thought maybe like a medical provider, like someone who had seen him.
Yeah.
But they're just trusting me. Which they should. I'm his mom, and not everyone's a mom. And not everyone's a good mom. And not everyone's a good guardian. Like,
right.
Yeah. So it's
not everybody has the best interest in mind.
But it's another
which is sad because yes, they still have the right to make choices. They still have the right to make the wrong choices. Yep. And your job is to help them keep safe and make guided choices probably.
Yep. Yeah. And like I said, for him, I was just mostly concerned about his health. Because if he didn't have, he's not able to make a doctor's appointment, he's got tons of them. He was not able to order his own supplies, and he has tons of his supplies. Those kind of things. Like, I wish that there was layers to guardianship because there kind of is. Like, the court can kind of sign off on like certain things. Like, there was a provision on there, like, should he ever be allowed to marry? Like, that kind of thing. So, like, there are some categories that the judge could have been like.
So that's a judge order if you can get married under guardianship?
It's a box on the form that whether he can consent or I can consent or it can happen at all. Owning a gun, I guess, like, across the board is a no. Okay. I guess there's like very few reasons that could ever be like reversed. And I guess like hunters, like people who would literally forage for that's their lifestyle. But very like we got like after the guardianship was done, we got a letter about a week and a half later with a specific form saying he cannot have a firearm. Cool. Yep. It was never going to be an issue.
Yep.
A fisher's license.
Can't have a fishing license?
Yeah.
Why?
I don't know. He can. I think I checked the box so he can, and the judge was okay with it. I'm like, cool. Yeah, like there's some really weird provisions on there that the state can and cannot sign off on, or a guardian can and cannot sign off on.
Interesting.
It was very interesting. I've learned a lot. I'm continuing to learn a lot, and I hate all of it. I think it's, like I said, it was one of the most devastating decisions that I ever had to make. And every single time I have to deal with anything guardianship related, which is every time he hands me a receipt, it breaks my heart a little bit more. Because part of me, there's like we talked about with like Heidi, like there's a mourning process to having a child with different abilities. And yeah, like that's just tough.
Yeah.
It's just tough, like just to know that it didn't have to be this way. But I'm very hopeful.
Working toward independence.
Like that is the end game. And I do believe that we can get to a point of like supported decision making where he's just consulting me on big life. I think it'll probably always have to be a rep payee though. So I have very little faith.
Still young.
He is.
He's still young.
He's just a baby.
I have found myself trying to implement myself as a rep payee to my son.
Yeah.
And he's 16. He's working full time this summer.
He's got money. He's got real money.
He's got
big boy money.
So I'm over here. No, you have to put so much away in the bank and savings. Do you want me to go drop it off the bank for you? And he's like, I'm buying Xbox games. I'm buying this. I'm buying that.
I need my $300 shoes.
Yep. And I'm like, so even though because I'm in this world, I see myself implementing myself into like where it's none of my business.
It's so hard. I mean, I have adult kids and oh God, it's so hard.
Yeah.
Just to like watch them like, oh, that's a life choice, I guess. I'll be here to.
Do you, I struggle with, watching these life choices and not giving my opinion. But at the end of At the end of the day, I always tell Leah that it's your money. Mm-hmm. It's your choice. Alex too. It's your money. It's your choice. If you choose to spend all of your money and now you're broke, well, that's a consequence of your choice, not my problem. Like, I need to stop implementing. But then I'm like, I've been there before.
I know.
I've done there. I just listen. I know what I'm talking about. Yeah, they don't care.
My 26-year-old now has a lot. She's at the point in life where she could be like, you were so right.
Good. Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, thank God we are here.
Yeah, we get to that point.
I'm always right.
I feel like 25. Yeah, we're at 22 going on 23, I think. Yeah. And we're to that point where like, Mom maybe knows what she's talking about.
Turns out you were right.
Yeah.
I don't know if she still has it, but my oldest had me in her phone as Mama Buddha. Because I'm all knowing.
It's funny.
Yeah. Yeah, it's very cute. No, but I'm just glad because the beginning years of like, you're so dumb, you know nothing, you haven't lived a life, you don't know what it's like, you don't know what it's like to be 20, you don't know what it's like. No, you're right, I don't. But I will say that I do not know what it's like to be 20 something now, because if I was trying to live independently now, as a single parent, I would for sure be living either in a communal living property or with my parents.
Absolutely. I'm looking back at, yes, I was a single parent, struggling $8 an hour, making as a CNA, working 16-hour shifts. Rent back then was like $500.
Yeah. I had a 2-bedroom for $495.
We had a house. Yeah. We had a 2-bedroom house for $500. You cannot, and it was like maybe 800 square feet, but still 900, maybe still. Nowadays, 1,200 easily. Easily in today's market. Like because we do housing counseling services, we're well aware of what today will bring you. And
it's not that.
Nope.
I looked up my very first apartment on apartments.com, and what I was paying for, like, I think $325, $350 is now going for $1,000. I'm like, and nothing about it's changed. They probably repainted, and they definitely have to change the carpet, but all the cabinets, the exact same. The countertops, exact same.
Yep. Inflation.
$1,000, and people have to do it because they have to live somewhere.
You have no choice. It's okay. So I have to go, and not all jobs, the pay has been increased with inflation, right? We're still seeing some caregiver jobs, most of them $16.32. Okay, that's better than what we were at when 11. We started, 11, 12. That's not inflation. That is forcing somebody to have to work multiple jobs because you can't live off of that nowadays.
No, you would never. No. I mean, like, even like there are apartment complexes, some of the newer ones that are renting for $1,400. Like that's not affordable. That's a mortgage.
And they put affordable on there. Yeah,
well, some of these affordable properties, yes,
they're affordable for someone.
When I toured that one recently in Oshkosh, $1,700.
Yeah, that's a mortgage payment. Why just go buy a house at that point? If you can afford that, go buy a house. If you're choosing to rent, maybe you don't want the upkeep, maybe you don't want maintenance. I could see maybe
do a condo then, but so you could probably even get a condo with condo fees that'll pay for all of that, or do all the lawn care.
I think it's one of them that you're almost held hostage because you have to live. You have to live somewhere. You have to make it work, right? So every time there's a new community that's being built and I hear affordable, I'm like, is it affordable?
To who?
To who? Right. Now it's calling and being like, all right, what does affordable mean? Because I feel like that's a stretch of what it is. We need more systems that help you get out of the cycle, help you get out of the system.
None of the systems are set up that way.
No. Once you're in, you have to stay in. You have to stay in because now I did catch the end of the webinar for the new requirement for having to work.
For food stamps?
Yep. So it's Badger Care Plus. It's Badger Care Plus members that are being asked that you have to be eligible. Now you have to work, I think, 20 hours a week. So it's not just the whole Badger Care. It's just Badger Care Plus.
Is it impacting food share?
I'm not sure if
Because
it's
the food share part
I think
seems
it's
to
just,
be like the buzz.
Yes, it is food share and the badger
Okay.
care, I believe. So that, like I said, I only caught half of it. I didn't catch the beginning point of it, but in one aspect, I understand what they're trying to do, right? If you have the ability to go work, right? I get that. But not to say now we have transportation and things like that. But in the past, we still run into it. If you are in the cycle of you have Social Security, you have benefits, you have food share, you have whatever, the voucher or whatever it may be, you can't earn more than a certain amount. Otherwise, you are no longer eligible for these services. So it's a cycle that keeps you in that cycle.
Yep.
Because then the mindset is I can only work up to 20 hours a week.
Yep.
And it's that gap of ending versus starting and more independent. I'm sort of scary.
Because there's no gradual. It's a cliff.
Yes,
I was there many years ago when Obamacare took over. I lost my health care through Badger Care, and part of it was because I made too much money at that point. I had 2 kids under the age of 8, 9, and I was making, I think, $13.50 an hour.
That was too much.
And that was too much. What?
Right.
Like, what? Like, because there's no, like, gradual. Like, I feel like if you're graduating or you're getting kicked off a program, it means that you hit the point of self-sufficiency, that you have a job with access to benefits, or you have a job that's sustaining your access to benefits, a job that you're making enough money, you can pay your own childcare, your own food, like, whatever it is. Like, you've gotten to the point where, by all definitions, you should be good to go. That's not how it is. It's a cliff.
Yeah.
You make $1 too much an hour and you lose your childcare. You just lost your ability to work because you just lost your ability to pay. Because who can afford childcare? I think it's roughly like $350 a kid a week right now ish. Yeah. So like, who can afford that? All of that? Yeah. Like a single parent. Who?
Yeah.
But you get a 50-cent raise. Boom, you're done. Can't work now. Yeah. Or I've had people like caregivers and be like, I respectfully decline the 25-cent raise.
Yes. I need to stay at this. And the ones that are upfront and honest with you right in the get-go, I need to work this and I need to be at this amount.
Yep.
Okay, cool. And they have to be careful. They can't pick up hours because, that makes sense. If you are booted off at that particular point versus benefits just decreasing as we go along until you are no longer needing it.
And that would be beautiful. Even in the housing world, I would love to see some kind of like a self-sufficiency in the housing world. Like to get you to a place where you're independent or more independent, or that you're relying less on a subsidy. Because you're saving, you're making better financial decisions. Because really our systems at play are not teaching people how to be better fiscal managers of their own affairs.
No.
It's not. You just get kind of comfortable receiving the benefit. And I'm not talking about healthcare because nobody can afford healthcare.
No.
There's just not a person.
No.
But like I'm talking about like food share and housing assistance. Like not everyone's ever going to work themselves off of a subsidy, because if your income will never go up, well, but you could also pay down your debts.
Yep.
You could also work on your credit score.
Yep.
You could work with someone who could teach you how to do those things and be the very best version of yourself possible. But that's not how it's set up.
No, that's...
Every housing authority I have learned, though, does have a self-sufficiency program. Really? But it's not mandatory. But I did fill out the application with someone recently. I think it was Shawano County. In the application, they have people who are not, they don't have to, but most of the people do have to volunteer and be part of their, amazing. They have to take part in their sustainability classwork. And they have to volunteer. I'm like, I was signing it and I'm like, I love this. And he's like, I don't love it.
Yeah, I don't love this. Well, I am a true believer that you have to take ownership. And in order to take ownership, you have to have skin in the game.
Yep. And that's the direction that we're taking the not-for-profit.
You and I have some big dreams when it comes to this.
Yep.
Because, and that's exactly where we're going is, yes, you can have assistance. Yes, somebody can help you get there. But what skin are you putting in the game? Because if you're going into a place and You have rental assistance, you have security deposit assistance, first month's rent assistance. What skin do you have in the game? You want pride. You want pride in that place.
Yep. Yeah, and I think you will just naturally take care of what you had to work for.
Yep.
What was really hard.
Yep.
You're gonna take
and
care
something
of it.
that you might gain a new skill doing and actually really enjoy it.
Yep. And meet new people. And build community.
New connections.
Yep. Build community.
Yep.
Yeah, learn something new, because I think everyone should be a lifelong learner of some kind, whether it be on a small scale or a larger scale. There's I don't know if it's still in operation, because this was way back when I did my apprenticeship, which had been like 2012. But there was a community garden in Appleton, and you worked the garden for X amount of time, and then they would give you a voucher towards your bike so that you could get around to your jobs. Yep. And like, that is fantastic.
Yes. Help me help you.
Yep. And then they also, I think part of that was you had to learn to do basic bike repair. Yep. If I'm not mistaken, you had to learn to fix the gears and like put the chain back on and like maintain it. Like those are skills that you pass on. Those are skills that will help you be like independent. Like,
do you remember back when time banks were a big thing, where you traded a skill for time?
Yeah.
You know, I'm going to go mow your grass. In return, you're going to bake me a pie or something.
I think it's because we've fallen so far away from community as a society.
Yes.
Because that used to be just part of being a neighbor.
Yes.
Like, your elderly neighbor needed their lawn mowed, but she could bake a mean pie.
Yes. Yes. And you didn't expect it.
No.
You did it because that's what good neighbors do.
Yeah.
Yeah. Even our small little village, it's so divided. And I blame social media for it, because it's constantly, there's always somebody's bickering over. Always. And the town is literally divided. This half agrees, this half disagrees, and they're fighting over it. I'm like, where is the neighborly love?
Wow.
Like, do you even know your neighbor anymore?
No. I mean, not anymore. Like, we've fallen away from that. I would love to see us come back to a communal time. Yeah. Where we are honestly, I think we'll get back there, because I think the economy is going to force us.
I think it has to force us. Eventually, scary enough, I read something, and again, it's social media, so I don't know that I can believe it, but they're claiming house prices are going to drop almost 50% in the next 2 years.
Really?
And what that tells me, if that does happen, the economy is going to crash with it.
Well, it happened almost.
And I just hope we don't go back to 2008.
Oh, dear. Oh, dear. Mm-mm.
No. Yeah, where does that... I don't know how that even looks nowadays, like, because wages do inflate with not all the way,
right?
But all of a sudden everything crashes and your wages are still up here. Do your wages go back? I don't think so.
I don't think you can.
How does that work?
I don't think you can take it away. I mean, I think there would be some issues legally with that, but at the same time, a lot of like these companies aren't going to be able to sustain, and then we're going to have to see a big problem.
Yeah.
Can't things just like naturally just deflate a little bit, where things like are more like gas is not $4 a gallon, and you know, your 3-bedroom home that's actually worth $150 is not being sold for $365. Like, can we just go back to that? Like that is 50%. I realize that, but like, can we just like back off a little bit and make things a little bit more practical and fair, and not have it crash? But I guess that's not how it works. Like, that's not the real world.
Yes. What I would love to see is, I'd like to see more home ownership opportunities.
Yeah, within like the disabled population.
Disabled population. When we get somebody who wants to explore home ownership, like, I'm raising my hand. I'm like, I'm all in. Like, yes, this is what gets me excited. But there's not a lot of resources out there that's affordability, and according in this market. That's the problem. This market.
No, because you have to, the way that I would see it working is I would assume it would be purchasing older homes and then rehabbing them, but you have to rehab them ADA accessible. So like so they're going to be rehabbed with a ramp. They're going to have the showers, the bathtubs ripped out and make them roll in. It's widening doorways, dropping countertops, the appliances, but it's doable.
It is, because right now in today's market, $150,000 house, your mortgage is roughly $1,000, maybe a little more. So looking at that compared to rent, it makes sense for people. Not a lot of members that we work with on housing counseling doesn't make sense for that. It's not affordable. So are there any resources out there? You can do your, WIDA loans and Fannie Mae. I don't even know if Fannie Mae is still a thing.
Not sure. I know WIDA still has their program. I don't know what their grants are like these days, but WIDA, and then of course Habitat for Humanity does theirs.
Yes. Yep. But having more resources like that, again, skin in the game. I love Habitat for Humanity.
I love their model.
Yes, because you have to volunteer. You have to have sweat equity. You have to do something to work towards it. They don't just build you a house.
Nope.
Right?
Nope. Their model is great. I was the recipient of their help when I bought my first house. And somewhere on the good old interwebs, there is a video of me, because the camera crews were out, shoveling dirt in my front yard because they put windows and they regraded my house. But it was amazing because it was part of the program. Like you had to participate. Yep. It was an interest-free loan. Yeah. The programming is amazing. Yeah. And it was fun. Like, I don't know that I would have, because I'm so proud, I don't know that I could have taken without giving back. So it was really cool to be able to be a part of the whole process. They would have let me hang my siding if I would have asked. Yeah. I'm like, I'm going to let you guys do that part, but I'm going to go over here and shovel this dirt. Like, it's my full-time job, which I did.
You wanted to be part of that. Yep. And as like having systems like that, having, even I know there's classes out there for first-time home ownership, budgeting classes, affordability classes, but having just a resource out there that made home ownership more of a possibility for our disabled population. And the state's not going to take it.
Which they will. They will. 100% of the time they're taking it. They do. But they don't take it till they die.
So when you go to a facility, that happens when you pass, they don't just, or they take it.
You have to spend on your assets. So if your house is an asset, it's got to be sold and depleted. So technically it's going towards your living expenses because now it's going to pay the facility.
Gotcha.
But you have to spend it down. Like, you cannot have an asset unless your spouse lives in it.
Well, at least they can have an asset until that point, right? Yep. Throughout their life. But I would like to see more of that.
Yeah, I would love to see more of it. And I'm again, back to the social medias, I see so much cool stuff that's being done in other places, like little tiny home communities where it's like they're smaller, but they're cheap to build. First of all, they're so cute. You buy the lot and then it's just rows of them, but like with walkways, and they're just so darn cute, and they're functional, they're accessible. You're building community. They're just awesome. It's not like the tiny home community. These are like you buy it. Like it's yours. It's your little area in the world. It's yours. You can plant flowers in your front yard if you want to. I'm seeing that pop up. Something else I think I may have sent it to you, is the homeless trailers.
Yes.
The sleeping cots. I'm like, we don't need a shelter. We don't have to buy a shelter. We can have a trailer. That's amazing. And then you can spray them out, so like you don't even have to worry about like things that can go wrong inside of that little cubby. And you can bring your dogs and your cat.
Yep. I would love more resources. You and I have talked about transitional housing for so long. We need a stepping stone. Yes, everybody has a vulnerable part in life. Some hit it harder than others. But when you do, can we have a stepping stone? Shelters are full. Something where and then your work in progress up to wherever you're housing and you're stable, right? The tiny home communities I love them. There's so many times I went back and I'm like, let's build this. Let's do this. And
I wonder what it looks like as far as like the permitting. Like, why are we not seeing this trend? It's got to be permitting.
I think it's the attitude of the city and the villages.
That makes sense.
If I go back to my village and say I want to build a trailer home or a mobile park home, they'd probably tell me no, right? So I think but I can see these little, I know Oshkosh has a tiny home,
they have one.
But I think they have like a shower building. So not every place has their own toilet or shower.
And that was part of the downfall. When we went to that one housing, someone that sat on that committee was just chatting to us about it, and they had said that it wasn't well received because it wasn't well thought out.
Yes.
And that was the first time that I connected a dot of, oh, they forgot to ask the person it was impacting.
Yes.
What their opinion was.
Yeah, I can definitely see, like, at that point, it's glorified camping.
It is.
Because you have to go to the shower room, but it's still better than living on the street.
Streets.
Yes. So the people that they were housing, it's still a great concept. Yeah, I mean, I get it. You could have made them a little bitter and put plumbing, but imagine how much more of a cost that's gonna.
Because you'd have to stud every single one, like,
and you'd have to. I don't know if they're on city water or if they'd have sewer or whatever. Have to put a well in. So there are things like that we have to take into account. But I don't know. There's that place up in Crivets that you've been to.
Yeah, co-op.
Yep.
Co-op living.
And that is, they have their own individual bathrooms or no?
Yep, it's a redone motel. It's all individual bathrooms, and it's essentially a very cute little large motel room, and it's such a cool concept.
So it's people like that are taking that concept of, we have a problem, right? We have a homeless problem in our community. What solution can we work towards? Mm-hmm. And you said it's so cute in there.
Oh, it's so cute. And just the concept itself, like, it's cooperative living. So the model is that you're living as a community. So like there's 2 large living room areas. There's the old bar area that's now like a game area. They have the commercial kitchen with all the refrigerators, and they have, each unit does have their own, but they have the commercial one too, where they can make larger meals, set out on property. So like it's just super duper cute. Yeah. And it was they set the market so that people on fixed incomes could afford to live. Yeah. And honestly, live well. And that's super cute.
Yes. So how many times have I told you I want that building in Shawano? Mm-hmm. Like, I want that old nursing home, and I can just picture like a community garden. There's so many, and walking trails, and yes, not people who are on fixed income, they should be able to live well, still comfortably.
Yep. Well, right? They shouldn't have to live in squalor, and that is what they're doing. That is, I mean, 9 times out of 10, unless they're getting some kind of a subsidy, where they're forced to live is squalor. And that's unfortunate, and it shouldn't have to be that way. No. And because of where we are in our society in this area, landlords are allowed to do that. Yes. Landlords are not fixing things. They're allowed to charge obscene amount of money for something that is just barely habitable.
Oh, I would like to know how somebody who is on a fixed income of what, 1,000, 1,100,
1,065 is like the
has a voucher, was required to pay $2,100 for a deposit to move in. Make that make sense. And I'm sorry, that is taking advantage of somebody. That is not okay.
It's nonsensical. Let me just tell you.
What else? What other option do you have?
She doesn't.
She had to come up with that money to move in. Because she, as a voucher, I get it, you have a deadline because if you can't obtain housing, but they also need to look at that timeline as well because the market is so saturated. Yep. It's not as easy to go find a rental unit tomorrow. Not only that, you have limited income, which is also, let's be honest, discriminated against. Not everybody wants that voucher, not everybody, because there is a stigma out there that you are low income, you're going to trash my place.
Yeah, poor doesn't mean dirty, and poor doesn't mean dysfunctional. Poor does not mean disrespectful. No. It just means you don't have a lot of money.
It's taken advantage of. So the more that we get into housing services and housing counseling, and we just want to fix the world because that's just who we are. And I'm grateful for the fact that we see it firsthand because then we know how to advocate, how to push back politely and professionally. But somebody has to because these application fees are outrageous. You're using it as a revenue source.
They're not governed. So like there's no, they don't have to prove that it was that you're back. Well, what we know now is they're not running backgrounds. They're C-capping.
They're C-capping, and which doesn't cost any money.
Which is $0.00. That's free. So they're not running backgrounds. If they are running a credit check, I'd be surprised. But yeah, they're just, and there's no government or governing to say that their application was ever processed.
No.
Or if the unit is even available.
Exactly. I call, is this unit available? Yes. Okay. I even ask sometimes, do you have any other applications on it? Nope. Good to go. Awesome. Let's apply. We spend the $25. I don't spend the $25. They spend the $25 out of their $1,000 monthly paycheck. I call the next day. Did you get the application? Oh, it's been rented.
In 12 hours? Fascinating.
Okay, wonderful. Was her application processed? If not, are you going to return that $25? Crickets.
Nothing. And they don't have to.
There's no law. There's nothing that is keeping them accountable.
Nope.
And I called Fair Housing on that one. And they sent me to Consumer Protection, which Consumer Protection, amazing. I've never had a bad conversation with them. And it is what it is pretty much what it came down to, because there is nothing to say that you can't charge me $25 for an application that you may or may not process, and I can rent it to whoever I want, which is your right. But I'm not giving you your $25 back, because that's just an added bonus on top of a landlord.
Yep. Which I can only imagine how many application fees are taken.
Oh.
And they're not spent. They're not returned, and they're not spent toward rent or processing an application.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd be hard pressed to believe that is a unit that's open.
Right. But
yeah, it's very sad.
There's times where I would call, like I look at the platforms like apartment.com or Zillow or wherever we look. They're not always updated. I'll call and they're like, oh, that hasn't been open for a while. Oh, well, it's still on the website. So how many people are applying through the website without calling you to confirm and verify?
Yep.
And that's why we put that system in place that nobody applies until we verify it's open.
Yep.
I'm not going to be responsible for wasting somebody's money.
Yep.
That's
and
not
it's like
okay.
twofold, because you're wasting their money, their $25, and then you're wasting their budget by us driving over there, filling out an application, dropping an off truck, and 3 hours invested by the time you calculate your travel time. For what? For a unit that was never available or an option.
Yeah.
Cool. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's very disheartening out there, and there's just a lot of people that are resorting to streets, and there's
by choice. Mm-hmm. They're choosing the streets over a shelter.
It's safer.
Yeah, I've heard that so many times.
I don't know. I know how I ended up on my For You page because of what I search on the interwebs, but there's someone documenting it. I think it's called East Side Stories, and he's videoing people living in the homeless wild on the east side of Green Bay. Mm-hmm. He's going to travel to other places, I guess. But like, I'm like, I haven't spent much time on his page to like see what his actual motivation is or the attitude. Is it like, are you documenting because we want to change? Or are you documenting the shame? I haven't figured that part out yet. But I'm like, it is a problem. Like it's a huge problem. It's inhumane.
It's going to continue to get worse until there's a solution that is driven for it.
That's not institutionalization.
That's not institutionalization. Yep.
Oh, well, today is Friday. It feels like it's 2 weeks like chunked together in one.
Yeah.
We've had a lot of internal changes.
We have
for our for us.
We have,
and we're on week 2 of that.
Yep. How are you settling into?
Oh, not really.
Shocking.
I know. I'm just like, I'm never not going to have a caseload. So,
no.
But I am getting to know the people that I'm supporting right now, which is helpful. I'm starting to get to know the areas a little bit more. I mean, going to Green Bay, I felt like was a journey because I really had to like learn to navigate Green Bay. Central's its own beast too. Like it's just
rural.
Just trying to figure out like what's right next to each other, and like people are very, very dead set in like the cities they want to live in.
Oh, yeah.
So but I will say the area has a ton more resource. They are better resourced.
Yeah, I would say for housing, absolutely. In that area, they seem to come up faster on wait lists than Green Bay. It's like, you're sitting on that wait list for at least a year. At least a year. And if you're homeless, you got to figure it out until you come up on that. I really want to dig into, and I'm really excited because I know you can take anything and run with it. I'm excited to see where you take the housing division, But I'm also excited to start picking out these private landlords and networking with them, because your corporate landlords, they're very dead set on what they want and what they have, and the stigmas around that. I want these landlords that get it. I want to pull them out, because they're out there.
Yeah, it's such a nice conversation with the woman who owns the castle. What a beautiful soul. And I just know there's more people like that. Yeah. So just, where do you guys hang out? Like, do you guys have coffee every Thursday? Like, tell me, I'll come. Because
I'll supply the coffee.
Yeah, they're out there. Like, they just are. Even like the gentleman who passed away and donated all of his properties to Pillars, there are good people out there.
Yes.
There are good people out there. They don't have to advertise. Nope. Because they're good-hearted people.
Yeah, they've already had that unit filled by the time somebody is moving out. And it's all word of mouth.
Yep.
One of my favorite landlords, and he just totally gets it. He totally gets it, because he said, I've been there before. This place is for second chances. And it's very rare to run into that, right? I would love, there has to be more people that have that share that same mindset, because I don't think people realize how close they are to homeless themselves.
They don't. I made a comment the other day, and that person looked at me like I had horns. I'm like, no. Like how much money do you have in the bank right now? Yeah. Will it support you if you broke your leg tomorrow and couldn't drive?
One diagnosis, one accident, one losing your job.
Yeah. What if your basement floods and you have no insurance?
Yeah.
And your house becomes uninhabitable?
Yeah.
You didn't have adequate insurance.
Look at that.
Like,
homeless.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you have enough to carry you for the next few months, 3 to 6 months?
And most people don't, not in this economy. And if you do, yay for you.
You're
but
living
most people don't.
You're living paycheck to paycheck.
Yeah. Like, we're all paying.
So not every homeless person, nobody asked to be homeless. Let's start there.
No.
Nobody asked for it.
And even the individuals that have just struggled to stay housed, like your severe mental health, like, they didn't sign up for that diagnosis either. And there also is just a lack of resources to keep people safe in those situations. Yes. So, like, the housing is only one chunk of that.
Yes.
Like a lot of our, like, mental health members, they get kicked out because their behavior is poor, because they have severe mental health. Yeah. So where are the services to keep?
They need wraparound services.
Yeah, and we're missing those chunks of community and services. And so, yeah, we're going to see this, like, revolving door, and then one eviction after another, because they keep getting kicked out. Or the individuals that just don't know how to fight that eviction, or didn't know their rights in the beginning, and they never should have been evicted or given a 30-day. Yep. Or they just vacate because they got a 5-day and didn't realize they could cure it. And I'm like,
you know what else is a common thing nowadays? Not getting your security deposit back.
Oh, I can't imagine anyone's getting it back right now. Again, it's another income stream.
Normal wear and tear is not a reason to keep your security deposit. And they don't even know that they can fight that.
Yep.
It's, I didn't get my security deposit back. Okay.
Well, I mean, yeah, I mean, we won that most recent appeal. The landlord reference was the only reason she was going to be homeless, because of a landlord review.
Yep.
And none of the issues were her fault.
Well, and if you, one of the letters that I looked at, it said, landlord reference, no response. Landlord reference, no response. So we're denying somebody off of no reference now.
Yep, because a third party
landlords don't have to respond.
No.
So why are we denying somebody housing because you weren't able to get a hold of somebody who's busy?
Well, you couldn't verify a street corner.
Go talk to a sign. Ask them if they were there. Yeah. Like, come on, let's be realistic.
I cannot with you people. Yeah. It's heavy. It's very, very heavy.
It is heavy because and that's why we do what we do.
Yep.
We've identified these barriers. We've identified how people are being treated. And then, like, our mama bear claws come out like, whoa, hold up, back up. Nope, that's not how we treat people. Like, or I'm going in and I'm like, help me understand this. Help me understand why somebody is being denied housing, which is basic essentials of life. Housing, a roof over your head, because you could not verify a landlord reference or a street corner. They were homeless. Who do you want to verify that?
I think one of the hardest parts about the work that on the housing side is helping individuals that we serve realign their expectation of the systems. And I don't love that part because it's not taking choice away from them. It's just realigning the expectation of the systems at play. And I have to often remind our members that the landlords don't have to care about them. And I hate saying it, but they need to hear it because like I hear it every single time that something's not going well is like, but I'm disabled. They should. No, I'm really sorry, my friend, but they don't have to care and they don't have to be good people and they don't have to care. They don't have to care. They don't care that you're disabled.
No.
I care, but they don't have to care. And I need them to understand that because it will help them move through that journey a little bit with less internal resistance when they realize that they just have to play by the rules at B so that we can get through the process. And I hate that that's where we are because they don't have to care.
No, they don't.
And they oftentimes don't. And they just don't. They don't care that they're on fixed incomes. They don't care that they can't make it up the stairs. They don't care. But then they also want all this privilege of, and wanting information from us. Like, can they care for themselves?
None of your business.
Not your business.
Can you care for yourself?
Yeah. No, like, not your business. But that they think they have access to 100% of their existence. But again, we're playing by rules that are so...
Whoever made up these rules, I'd like to meet them.
I swear to you, I mean, I wasn't doing this work through COVID or before COVID, but I saw the industry change through COVID.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Like something within like the not resident rights, but the landlord to tenant rights. There was a shift in that paradigm.
Yeah.
And
it became, I hate to say greed. It
was a money grab.
Because
it was a money grab. During
COVID, there was a rent freeze. They didn't have to pay their rent during that time. I can imagine how badly that hurt landlords because you have to protect your investment.
You do.
There wasn't a mortgage freeze. The landlord still had to pay for that property. So that probably wasn't the best move to say you can live here, but you don't have to pay. Because then how many people were forced into evictions after
immediately,
that?
as soon as the mortuarium,
how many months can you go without the landlords need to be paid? I get that. But then ever since that, I have seen that attitude shift of that greed. Now we have application fees. Now we have this.
They're doing 30 days just so that they can get that person out so that they can increase the rent by $600. Start it over because they know they can.
Yeah.
And they'll get it. Yep. Hands down, they will get it. They will get it. For sure get someone to move in.
Yeah. You have to.
Yep.
Like, it's another vicious cycle.
It is. And they all feed into each other. Like all of
landlords
the systems.
talk.
Oh, yeah.
Landlords talk. Just like caregivers talk. Just like nurses talk. Just like we talk. Every industry talks to each other.
Yeah, that's why it would be nice to like get into some of the landlord meetings and just kind of change the tone a little bit. Because it's not all poor people are bad people, and not all disabled people are helpless.
No.
And also if you provide your feedback to the voucher, they are trying. They are trying. They know that there's fault within their systems, and they're moving as fast as they can through their processes too. I know one of the biggest problems was the speed of inspection. They were losing out. They were losing money on that.
Yep.
And they've gotten better there too. Yep. Like they are working. So if there's more landlords willing to take the voucher, that would be helpful too.
Yes. They're going to get paid. We just have to change the attitude about the population that uses the vouchers. So the wraparound services, this is probably the worst housing experience I've ever had as a housing counselor. So we had a gentleman who was staying in a nursing home. We found him a cute little apartment in Shawano. Adorable apartment. There was no wraparound services once he got into his unit. Turns out he liked alcohol. That was his friend. And the landlord called me in such a panic and says, somebody thought they didn't hear him, they didn't see him, so they did a welfare check. Feces scattered all over.
That's when I first started. I do remember that.
Yes. And this landlord calls me and he's mad at me because I'm the connection, right? And I'm like, I'm no longer working with him. I'm so sorry. Here's the case manager's number. I shoot the case manager a heads up. Obviously 5-day, that's an eviction. Get out. There's no cure for that. So I don't know where he ended up back up, but it kind of tarnished our relationship with that landlord because they're looking at us like, we're not vouching for people, first of all. There's nothing that we can do because in that situation, our services were done the day the lease was signed. And that was a policy, not our policy. That was a system policy. So had there been wraparound services where we're encouraging right now, like, let us do a home visit every week for the first month. Do you know where to pay your rent? Do you know how to pay your rent? Is your electric set up in your name? Anything that's going to identify, like if we were in there weekly, just doing a home visit, and then maybe monthly for the first 3 months, to be able to identify, like, listen, you're not following the lease rules. You are at risk of being evicted if the landlord were to find this out. Or even if they wanted to, we could talk to the landlord. How's everything going? Are there any noise complaints? Are there any concerns? So that way they can work towards a stabilization versus 3 months in, it's not going well. And now you have an eviction on your record. And now it's going to it's not impossible, but it's nearly impossible because as soon as somebody sees that on your record, they don't want, you're labeled a problem child.
And again, they can, regardless of the reason.
So even though we truly do care and deeply care about the services that we offer, both on the support broker and on the housing, we also identify we can maybe take it a step further and help navigate these uncharted waters. Like how do we prevent it?
And when I went to that housing meeting in Point, I think it was, that there are programs like that in other cities and towns. That part of like the funding follows them through the first year of the lease. And remediates any issues that come up. Because one, I think that's how we change the attitudes of from the landlords. That not all poor people are bad people. They're not all going to damage your property. And then also we build a network of landlords willing to talk to us and give our members a second chance because a lot of them, most of them, are worthy of it. Like, there's a lot of the situations that could have been remediated. If someone 100%. Fought a little bit, it's like silly stuff. Like even the people who had to be evicted, it just had to happen. Getting it set up on a payment plan before, like they moved out, would have been enough to get them rehoused. Because if you have a judgment without a payment plan, you aren't rehousable through the housing authorities. So even like that small baby step of a advocacy point would have been enough to get them set up, and it could have been medial, $20, $15. Still would have been expensive for them, but like it would have been a good faith gesture to get that paid down. Let's get that back balance paid down and get you stabilized. But I really loved the program models that I heard that day, and it's very similar to what we would like to do. And what would be very beneficial for our members.
I'm excited to see where it takes us. Because there's a need. We've identified the need. Just have to come up with a solution. And I think working within the industry, working with all providers and individuals within the industry to come to a common ground is what we need to do. It's where we need to start, at least.
Exactly. We need a little plug here. So we need at least one more housing counselor in Central. And that's it for right now because we just hired for Northeast and it's going fantabulously. So that's awesome. So we need that.
You're up to 4 housing counselors now?
Working with
our fifth?
Fifth desperately needed so I can get out from underneath the caseload so that I can do all the big things. It's going to be exciting. It's going to happen. Putting it out there. It's happening.
When you put it out there, you know it's coming.
It's happening. We're going to get
I have a good feeling. I have a very good feeling. So
same.
We're going to make this happen.
And the other local plug that I'm going to put out there too. So this week I met with St. Vincent de Paul, who's one of the only, there's 11 in our area. And then there's St. Vincent de Paul that can most definitely, generally, offer some kind of financial assistance toward like security deposit, back paid rent, utilities, like those type of things. Really, not a bunch else around here. We have a couple churches that can occasionally help out, but that is who our go-to. That's our go-to. And I met with them, and we finished up our meeting, and I said, okay, so I need to understand, like, where do you get your money? And I had a reason for asking, so I needed to know where to send people. So we can get more money to them to help our people. And he gave me the kind of like a high level spiel. So all of their dollars that come in through their stores, like through donated products, and then they sell it, that gets funneled into all the programs that they offer, and they do a whole bunch. They do anything from they also brought her food. Mm-hmm. So like they have their food, they are able to help with these emergency financial, things that come up. But all of it comes through what's donated and what's sold.
That's amazing.
So my plug is figure out where your local St. Vincent de Paul is, and donate or buy. They just have a brand new location in Appleton. I do believe it's on the corner of West Hill and Wisconsin, but maybe Google that. And that's brand new, and then the other location's still in operation. So they're trying to get more. I think more donations are needed at the new one.
Okay.
Yeah. So that is how we can continue to help people get security deposits paid. I don't know if they do application fees, but maybe. But they do like that emergency assistance type of thing. It's a very nice conversation. Very beautiful souls that joined us that day.
It's good to know. Money's not. It just doesn't appear.
No,
it has to come from somewhere, and that they're funneling it through their after operating costs. Them are good people.
Yep.
And
they do they in their process isn't like super degrading. It's not degrading at all. It's not even super not degrading. It's not degrading at all.
Yeah.
It was just and they came to their home, and we had a really nice chit chat, and they brought her a care package, and it was not degrading. It was like, how can we help?
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Good for them.
Yeah. So I love that. And then, so I'm like, well, they don't know I'm doing this, but I said, how can we help? And I said, we sometimes do the social media machine. How can we help? So that seemed like a reasonable place to start.
Absolutely. I think this platform is not only spreading awareness, but spreading good.
Mm-hmm.
Just spreading good within our community. And nowadays, we need as good as
much
good as we can get.
Good.
We need positivity.
Yeah.
And not all negativity. I'm really hoping that social media is just media is media. They'll drive negativity. And I am hopeful that Wisconsin can see the good that has happened over the past couple decades and want to improve upon it and not look at it as dollar.
Yeah, I really hope not. I mean, I've seen so much positivity, so I really hope not. But I'm going to keep my finger on the pulse there.
Definitely.
I'll be very interested to see. I'm very connected to Ohio. It's where a big chunk of my family is, and there's a lot of stuff happening over there too with very similar with this opinion. Yes. But also something else came to the table about the family caregivers. They're going to pull back funding on family caregivers for the fraud.
I'm hearing that a lot. And that is concerning. That is concerning on so many aspects because, again, the economy doesn't allow it. And we can get into this next week as well. Everyone keeps saying caregiver shortage. Okay, so now we're going to pull out family caregivers on top of it.
Oh, we're in trouble.
And the problem is family caregivers are not going to back down. You do what you have to do.
Yeah, well, that's what I've always said. Like, regardless if I'm a paid support or not, my son's not going without.
Yeah,
like,
and if that's what you're banking on, then we need to relook at what we do, not us, the whole system. Like, that's not okay. Take care of your people.
Mm-hmm.
Take care of your people.
Yep,
it's not okay.
Yep, I agree. And like I said, many of them want to work.
Mm-hmm.
So figure that out. If you want them to contribute back into the system, there is a way. There's already a will. Find the way.
Yeah. There's a disconnect there.
Yeah. Like
bridge the gap.
Oh my gosh. I can't even imagine. Like, I think most of our members would love to return to the workforce.
Mm-hmm. And the workforce has to be accommodating.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever that might look like. You mentioned in an earlier podcast, maybe it's just a shortened work day.
Mm-hmm.
Easy. Yep. Easy enough.
Like, how easy would it be for a company, like especially the larger ones, to see what they're already outsourcing, janitorial?
Yeah.
I know one of the colleges was employing one of our gals to shred paper.
Yes.
Because she loved shredding paper.
Yes.
And it was something they had to do anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So she spent 3 hours a day shredding paper.
Yes.
So they were going to outsource it anyway.
Yes.
They paid her minimum wage to do it, and it fulfilled her week to get out of the house 2 days a week to shred paper.
What do you enjoy? There's a job out there for everyone as something that you truly enjoy doing. It's not like they're going in and asking you to install an elevator.
No.
There are reasonable accommodations out there. Find one.
Yep. Because it's like matchmaking, like what we do on the support broker side. There's a caregiver for everyone. There's an opportunity for everybody.
Yes.
Whether it be like in the homebound people, can they make phone calls?
Yes.
Sure can.
They sure can.
Yep.
You can be a remote worker.
Yep.
Especially in today's world.
Absolutely.
You can do that. And everybody has such different aspirations and dreams and things, like you said, fulfill them that we may not enjoy doing.
But it brings them a lot of joy.
Perfect. Then hire somebody to do it.
Yeah.
We recently had a conversation. We want to work towards more inclusion in our workplace.
Yes.
I would love that. I want that. I need that. And just having the perspective from people that we offer services to.
I think it'd be awesome. That I'm all for the lived experience right now.
Me too.
Because like I said, when policies are made, they forget to ask the most important people, those that it affects.
Yep. And they will find they are the most resourceful, and they will tell you what the most efficient way of doing it is as well. Because they're forced to do it.
Yep.
Live off of what you're giving them. They have to be efficient with it.
Yep. So I saw a video of a social experiment about living in a wheelchair for 24 hours, like someone who's not wheelchair bound, transitioning to a wheelchair for 24 hours to see how hard it is. I'm like, ooh, wouldn't that be something?
That'd be a great, you must do this to work here.
Like,
you have to have that basic understanding of what is it like? Because we don't know. We don't know.
We
don't know the struggles.
The last housing meeting I went to as well, they were talking about there's a housing experiment that they do. Again, I think it's either 12 or 24, I can't remember, but it's a day. And you're homeless, so you have no phone. If you have a phone, it's not charged. You have no car, but you're given a list of tasks you have to accomplish and figure it out. That's a whole thing. Like, wow, like what? Not a cool experience, but a very humbling experience.
Yes, because now you can have empathy towards the people that you are serving.
Yeah, like how hard was it for you to get to work on time on the bus?
Yes.
How late were you? How late were you? I know you weren't on time.
Oh, well, now the bus isn't running after work, so you're going to have to walk 10 miles to your camp.
You got stranded, figure it out. Your phone's at 1%. Who can you call? Who's your lifeline?
Yep.
Where can you charge your phone? Not the library, because they're going to kick you out. No, they won't. They're nice here.
Yeah.
But,
well, are they though?
Some days.
They kicked me out. They kicked you out. Not only did they kick you out, I think they called the cops on you. You overstayed your welcome.
Oh my gosh, for like 12 minutes. Oh my gosh. That was so scary.
I would never come back, so kudos to you.
I come back almost every week.
You do.
Every week.
You do. They're nicer, no?
They are nicer because of this room.
Oh, my goodness.
So onward to another week.
Yes.
I'm hoping next week is better. This week it was kind of hard, so I'm hoping next week is good. A little less frustrating next week would be helpful. We got this.
I think we're always going to have we're going to ebb and flow throughout the weeks. There's always going to be something that comes up. That's just
absolutely.
Normal business.
I think the bigger that we grow with more internal staff members, I think we're just going to we have not had a whole bunch of interpersonal any conflicts of any type.
No.
We've just been small. It's easy not to have, but the bigger we get, I think we just have to be more prepared and more in tune to differences.
I have found that. I think the more that we grow, the more fires I need to put out. Sometimes I just feel like a firefighter.
Yeah, and I'm not in this company. I'm not used to it because we've always been so small. But we are getting to a size where it's just we're having big kid problems.
We are.
Yeah, we have big kid problems
anymore.
I know. We have big.
Now we're like
problems.
the teenage.
I know. We're growing. These are the growing pains.
These
are like those awkward years where you're a human, but what kind of human? And
no more her temper tantrums.
Oh yeah.
Now we're in teenage of rolling the eyes, and we'll get out of it.
Yeah,
we will out of it. We love what we do. So
I just love it.
We have, like I said, big dreams. We have big dreams that we're working towards, and we're gonna keep going towards that.
Yep, we're getting there. So onward, another week.